The Honorable Member for Nakonde.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to debate on this very important speech for the official opening of the third session of the 13th National Assembly by the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Madam Speaker, I'm very happy that today UPND can confirm that development is not a straightforward journey. Madam Speaker, that is on page 1. President confirmed here that development is not a straightforward journey than what used to be when they were in opposition. Madam Speaker, you can recall that in opposition, the UPND had all the solutions. Madam Speaker, they had a solution even to the rising price of meal. Madam Speaker, UPND in opposition promised the Zambian people that you never buy PAMELAs. Madam Speaker, I came with an evidence so that maybe you cannot know the PAMELA. Madam Speaker, this is the PAMELA. That the UPND promised the Zambian people.
Order, Honorable Member.
Sit down.
It's not allowed, eh? Okay. Order, Honorable Member. You are not allowed to bring such things in the house.
It's evidence. It's evidence.
Order, Honorable Members. Order.
It's evidence.
Otherwise, we are going to see a lot of honorable members coming into this house with a lot of samples or items.
It's evidence, Madam Speaker.
It's not allowed.
It's evidence.
Well guided, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. I came with it because I didn't have a word in English, so I thought maybe I can just demonstrate.
Order, Honorable Member. Pardon? Can that item be handed over to security so that it's out of this house? And honorable members, can we please be focused to the report? Let's try as much as possible, focus on the report, just to help our Zambians who didn't listen to the report, pick something out of it. Can we be focused? Honorable Member, you may continue.
Well guided, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, I was stating to say I'm happy that now the New Dawn administration, they are able to confirm that development is not a straightforward issue. Madam Speaker, people out there, how I wish, Madam Speaker, this could be a question and answer session so that I can ask some questions to some people who promised us that meal one day will be bought at 50 kwacha. Madam Speaker, where is that solution? We want to find out where has that solution gone to. Because they were providing the alternative policy when they were in opposition. But now, why is it that they cannot work out on the price of meal? Madam Speaker, as I'm speaking now, the people of Nakonde, they are buying meal at 350 kwacha. The people of Shangombo, they are buying meal at 350 kwacha. Others, they are buying at 400 kwacha. And yet, when they were campaigning, they were promising the people of Zambia that Mirimi will be bought at 50 kwacha. So the question which is there is, when are we going to start buying Mirimi at 50 kwacha? Madam Speaker, not only that, the same people, they are the solution then in opposition, that dollar is going to trade between 5 kwacha and 10 kwacha. Madam Speaker, when I was just checking the dollar today, Madam Speaker, the dollar is trading at 21. 21 kwacha, Madam Speaker. Going to 26. And we were told to say 10 hours and 14 hours. You know the history of 10 hours and 14 hours. Madam Speaker, the Zambian people want to know, why is it that whatever you promised us is not working? Is it that you just wanted to use us as Zambians? The Zambian people want to know, why is it that fuel is at 30 kwacha when you were supposed to trade at... Madam Speaker, I know a lot of people would want to disturb me because this is real. Madam
Order.
Speaker, about electricity.
Order, honorable member. There's an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Minister for Southern Province.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. And as you could see, I was relaxed and very reluctant to rise on a point of order until the situation got out of hand. Madam Speaker, in terms of our standing orders, a debate on the floor of the motion of the nature as the one in Castle is supposed to be debated in context of the motion. Is the Honorable Member of Parliament on the floor of the House? In order, Madam Speaker, to begin to debate electoral promises of UPND before forming government, when, Madam Speaker, this administration is 2 years in government, has moved on and is now executing policies that are contemporary, policies, Madam Speaker, that are addressing the challenges of the people of this country. Including the minimum prices. Madam Speaker, on a very serious note, is the Honorable Member on the floor of the House in order to deviate his debate from the presidential address to this House on Friday and begin to talk about electoral promises that were made a long time ago and for which, Madam Speaker, the majority of them are being executed. I need your serious ruling.
Order, honorable members. I think I had guided to say, much as we want to include so many other things, let us be focused to this speech. Whatever we are talking about, whatever we are including in our debate, it should be related to the speech, the content of the speech that we are looking at. Let's not dwell so much on things that are not in the report. I'm sure there are a lot of things that the President mentioned. If we agree, we don't agree, let's hammer on those things, rather than trying to bring out things which they are all over. Let's try to be focused to the report that is on the floor of the House. The Honorable Member on the floor, please continue, keeping that guide in mind.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Madam Speaker, the cost of living for an ordinary Zambian now is unbearable, which I'm happy even the President confirmed in his report. Madam Speaker, when you talk about the cost of living, you cannot talk about cost of living in isolation without talking about the cost of the price of fertilizer. As we are speaking now, Madam Speaker, the fertilizer, Madam Speaker, is being bought at 850, and yet we are promised at 250 kwacha. These are real issues. So if you want to curb and if you want to have production, we need to reduce fertilizer to 250 kwacha. Madam Speaker, the President also talked about an increase in CDF. I'm even worried, Madam Speaker, because we're in September. If I ask any member here who has received all the quotas of CDF for 2023, no one here. It's only about 6 million, Madam Speaker, that each and every constituency has received. Yeah. Now, how are we going to develop, Madam Speaker, if we cannot receive the whole amount of CDF? This is the third quota. And yet, people want us to develop. We need, if we need to develop, the money has to be in our accounts. Because as I'm speaking, Madam Speaker, the people of Nakonde, they haven't received 2023 CDF, maybe other people. And the other arrangement, Madam Speaker, that I would want to put across, we cannot be only talking about CDF, always CDF, 1 by 2 classroom block. When is the central government going to start also some projects in some of the constituencies? I can ask here, Madam Speaker, how many people?
Honorable member, unfortunately, you cannot ask your colleagues. This is a debate, and you are supposed to address your debate to me, not to your colleagues. So that question to your colleagues does not stand. Please observe the rules as you are debating.
Madam Speaker, the real issue is we haven't received the CDF for 2023. We have only received part of it, which is 6 million. And this is September. When are we going to start implementing the projects? That's my question. Which means, Madam Speaker, for CDF 2023, we start implementing in 2024. Yes, because we haven't received anything.
Order. There is an indication for a point of order. The Honorable Member from Pika, what is your point of order?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, and apologies to my colleague, the one who has taken the floor by a storm. These are men that we need in the House.
Order.
I apologize, my colleague.
Honorable
Madam
Member,
Speaker.
Order.
Madam Speaker, I rise on a point of order pursuant to standing order number.
Honorable Member from Pika, order. I'm sure he's not the only man that I can see here. I can see a lot of men seated in here. So, Honorable Member, you were actually out of order to just say he's a man. There are a lot of men in the House. You may continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise on a point of order pursuant to standing order number 204G. A member shall listen in silence to the debates in the House. Against this standing order, Madam Speaker, the Honorable Member of Parliament, senior member for that matter for Dundumwezi, is passing running comments and insinuating that the Great North Road from Chinsari to Nakonde has been done by this government when he knows it was started by the Patriotic Front government, funded by the African Development Bank. The whole amount of the money is in order to mislead this House and disturbing the debater on the floor who is debating very well, raising issues that the Zambian people want to listen to. I seek your ruling, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much.
The fact that the Honorable Member of Parliament for Dundumwezi was not given the floor to say something, whatever he said actually we didn't even get it here. However, the only mistake that he did was to say something when the colleague is on the floor. We are all supposed to be seated quietly so that we give room to our friends to debate. So actually I was hearing a lot of voices. So all the members who were talking, please, when the honorable member was on the floor, were actually out of order. We are supposed to be seated quietly to listen to one person who is on the floor. The honorable member for Nakonde, please wind up debate. No, we have to make progress.
Thank you very much, Madam
We have
Speaker.
to make progress.
Madam Speaker, on page 4. On page 4, Madam Speaker, the President is stated to say we have managed to reduce the end of the year inflation to single digit. Madam Speaker, how can we have a single digit without any meaning? No impact to the Zambian people, to the cost of living, because the inflation rate,
Order,
Madam Speaker, has to
Honorable
translate.
Order, honorable member, your time is up. Let's structure